I've always loved Antigone, the play. I studied it for A-level as a kind of text rather than performing it or anything like that, and really fell in love with it. I thought it was very modern despite its age, and I thought it could kind of speak to the present day and kind of where the world is, this divided world that is, you know, in turmoil and so polarized. It's set in one location, so that works, and it's the drama kind of comes from what the characters are saying, and the conflict is very text based. So it felt like it would work over Zoom, and it felt like it could be justified well, and it spoke to the moment, and so we went with it, and I think it has worked well. I hope it has. It was difficult to find a version that we could adapt for free. So we had to find quite an archaic translation of the play because, surprisingly, I do not read ancient Greek. So I modernized lots of the text. I brought it from verse into mostly prose, and tried to add some justification for why it was on Zoom and added in the framework of it being set in a Zoom call. I wanted to make sure we kept the heart and soul of it, and I didn't want to take out too much. We've lost lots of the chorus sections or had them kind of translated into other things, but most of the original play is there, which I think is important, and I couldn't quite bear to lose lots of it. The first challenge was convincing everyone that it was a good idea. Directing it was a totally different experience from anything I've done before. It was so difficult not being able to read the room in a normal way, because that's such a big part of directing, I think, is being able to control the room of the actors. And obviously when everyone's sitting in their bedroom at home, you can't control that space. It might have to be the clap. The clap is the first thing that came to mind. 2, 3. So when we were recording it, the way we recorded it was we got everyone to record their own webcams individually, and to sync up all the recordings, or to try and sync up all the recordings. The first time I tried to get everyone to clap in unison. Now what I didn't quite realize is that over Zoom people are delayed. So doing that in unison is quite difficult. Not my finest directing moment, but a very funny one. I'd love to get a prophecy from Tiresias. I'd love for him to maybe tell me what I'm doing after I graduate. Maybe if anyone ever cancels student debt, so I can not worry about that, because that is a big worry. I think it's really emphasized the fact that a production should always be about the process rather than the product, which I think is true anyway, but more so here, because of the really difficult circumstances everyone's obviously in. I've tried to be very sensitive about that, and I think that is something that I can learn from and take to future things. The idea of the breakout room and sending the cast off to kind of do their own thing, I think is quite good. It's something I've done. I would normally do a bit anyway, but maybe we'll do more, because I do think it works, and it's nice to really trust the cast and show that you trust them, I think. And they've produced some really amazing stuff from those breakout rooms. I suppose this is slightly wanky, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think it really emphasizes the isolation of all these characters. Having them kind of on their own screens really shows that they are all isolated, and it's a play really about individuals. And I think the Zoom format really highlights that. And I think it helps show that how separated Creon and Antigone actually are both from everything else and kind of the world around them.